Our next presenter will be Elena Cortes Ruiz from the State Archives of Spain, and she will talk about unique e-archives in Spanish public administration, about challenges, roadmaps, and tools.
Good afternoon, everybody. I suppose most part of you will know me and how I usually have problems with my USB and things like that. It's a common problem in e-administration. Perfect. I am trying to talk to you about this unique e-archives in Spain. It's a long way. We are now walking, and the end of this path will be next year in 2018. So we are really nearly over. If we will successful or not, we will see in 4 months' time. First thing I put on the title, challenges. Well, I suppose the main challenges in Spain we have to deal with, the first of all, is a really complex public administration where different levels, a national one, a regional one, those regionals divided in provincial ones, and those in local ones, and not all the time relationships between one to others are as fluent as they should be. And that problem has its reflection on e-administration too, of course. We are trying to solve those problems. They are going more smooth than they used to go, but we are still dealing with it, because different regional administration use different systems that we have to put together. The second challenge, probably, there is an important part of Spanish civil servants, those in charge of all this system, who need to be recycled at this moment. Part of people working older than 50, that should recycle themselves in e-management. And we are working in different programs with that, so it's getting better. The third challenge, in Spain, population is getting older. And old people have more problems with e-administration, of course. Just try to explain to your old granny, or to my mom in my case, who is 86, how to prepare her tax document using the internet. It's impossible. So that's one problem. Another challenge I see today, yesterday, and the previous day, that we have had to deal with frustration with tools which didn't work. That's another problem. A couple of months ago, I tried to fill a form using my e-signature, my e-platform, and I couldn't. It was impossible. There was a moment when the system failed absolutely. I had no way to ask for any help. At the end, I had to go physically to the record window to register manually my documents. And I am a civil servant, and I had this problem. So just imagine users, citizens, they have the same problem. I know that this was a punctual problem, but they have to deal with this frustration. This frustration generates unreliability, and people don't rely on the system. So those are our challenges. Which have we done? What have we done? We began working with this thing in 2007. In 2007, the first law recognizing the rights of the citizens to establish relationship with public administration by e-media was recognized and regulated. As you can imagine, one law from 2007 in 2017 needed to be updated, of course. And that's the reason why those two laws, the two of them published at the end of 2015, were published, and they are the two laws we are dealing with at the moment. Those we are using to implement our system in public administration. Between 2007 and 2017, we weren't idle, of course. In 2010, there were two national schemas published, the National Interoperability Schema and the National Security Schema. These two schemas have been updated, developed, etc., in technical standards, implementation guides, etc., and they are all available here. In this link, if you want to check it, is our public administration, Spanish public administration portal. If it works, okay, works. If it works, you can see here, everything is here in this platform. Information, guidelines, laws, tools. If we check interoperability, we have here technical standards, more information. We open this, and these are all new documents. You can check them. I think there are English version for some of them. So everything is in the same place. It's a good hit, a good goal for us, having everything there. This was a question that people were really worried about it. In Spain, everybody is concerned about internet security. From time to time, we suffer a hackers attack, as I suppose in every part of the world. Even our ministry web page has been hacked a couple of times. So it's one of the things people is worried about. So this schema was designed to solve that problem. These are these elements. The acronyms are the Spanish one. Esquema Nacional de Seguridad. Okay. The basic principles and the minimum requirements to protect e-documentation, information. When will be used, and when is it used? To guarantee data, information, and services in electronic media, the access, the integrity, confidentiality, everything the same as we archivists try to guarantee to people in the paper archives. Purposes of this schema. First, make electronic media confident to citizens. This is the first step. Second, establishing the policy. If we don't have any policy in Spain to develop everything, at the end, every regional government develops its own system, and at the end, you will have problems with interoperability. Introducing common elements, minimum common elements, to guarantee this interoperability, providing a common language for the same. Avoiding security continuous treatment. Security needs to be treated as a whole, not as a punctual situation, not as just this hacker attack today. It needs to be planned as a whole. The elements are here, basic principle, minimum requirements, security measures, attending to e-communications, security audit, and the quick answer to problems, of course, security certification and certificate of compliance. These are the phases. Prepare and approve a security policy, the first, classifying systems according to the value of the information in that, analyzing the risks, preparing and approving this measure applicability. According to this annex, you can see, if you read the document, You will see the annex too, so I think there's an English version too. Redacting an adaptation plan to improve security, implementing, operating and monitoring security measurement, and informing about security status. So these are the phases of this schema to be implemented. The national interoperability, the second one, it was redacted because cooperating between different public administration was essential. Just imagine you have to travel from a city to another, from one region to another one. In that, for instance, I had to take my mom from one region to another, and I had to move her health history, and I had to do in paper. I couldn't make the electronic translation. It was 1 month ago. And just one example, of course. So we do need to establish minimum levels of interoperability between regional governments, and we need to understand this process equally as the national security schema as a whole, not just as a part of the problem. The idea is guaranteeing citizens' rights everywhere, in every single level of our public administration, in every single part of our system, healthcare, education, taxes, whatever you can imagine. Well, I would like to talk about this. We have this red called Red SARA. It's used to publish services. This is the public administration network. So we have that platform to exchange information, tools, etc. We have been developing semantic and technical interoperabilities and working in infrastructure and common services. It's the beginning. Well, it was the beginning. It was 2010. We have advanced, not as quick as we wished, but we are advancing. The second thing we are working with is e-signature. That was one of the problems I had when I tried to fill my form. My e-signature was only recognized by one internet navigator. I couldn't use with Mozilla, with Google Chrome. I had to use Internet Explorer. So, and another thing we are doing, of course, because these schemas are just an agreement, is developing technical standards. You have seen the whole documents I've shown you in the page of in the portal of the public administration. Technical standards, guidelines, updating the versions of that, and policies, etc., are on that web page, and you can check them every now and then. All the news have the green label you have seen with the word nuevo, new, and they are constantly uploading more and more documents. Well, that was the second part. This is the third one, e-documents management policies. In 2 years' time, three e-documents management policies in a national way have been developed. I'll show you the links if you want to consult them, but for the moment we have lots of ministry. There's another problem in Spain. Perfect. We have every time the government changes, there are different ministries. So every now and then we have problems with that, but we are dealing with it. These policies include suggestions and guidelines to define the planning for records management in every department from the moment the data are produced till the moment they are kept in an archive. The Ministry of Taxes and Public Administration developed guidelines to develop these e-policies, and one of the Ministry of Education, Culture and Sports followed these guidelines. So every ministry can use that guidelines to develop their own policies. They followed those schema, the laws I've told to you, and these are. I put the one of the Ministry of Education, Culture and Sport on the first time, but it's not the oldest. It's the second. If you push, you will see here. Okay, you have this information, and you have here this version in English, if you want to check it. You can read, it's quite long, with lots of paragraphs, and it has been updated and revised at the end of 2015, I think. This was the first one, the one of the Ministry of Taxes and Public Administration. They are quite similar, all of them. So I suppose at the end they all will be interoperable. And this is the last, for the moment, the one of the Ministry of Defense. What are we trying to point with this? That I suppose, we hope, the whole ministries are going to develop their policies following the same model, more or less, and those policies will gather to reach a unique e-archives. Okay, the moment when these policies should be implemented, the moment where Spanish public administration will be absolutely electronic, zero paper, is 2018, as I've told you. So we are waiting, we are eagerly waiting to prove we were right. Which tools have we used? We have used different tools, common tools developed by different systems, but used in Spain in a national, a regional, or a local level. This one, inside, INCIDE in español, is the Spanish pronunciation. INCIDE is a tool to records management, yes. Archive, archive, is a tool for archiving. It's the same for the whole public archives. You can use it. You can download, and Afirma for electronic signature. And now we are developing the rest of these tools. E-document resealing, massive format conversions, and metadata, definition of metadata. So if you have any questions, you want everything, you can mail and you can ask me for whatever you want. Thank you very much.
So any questions for Elena? You can ask her whatever you want.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Rather a comment than a question. As I understood your presentation, we have the same problem in Poland. Ununified administration, lots of different software use, and we are still waiting for a records management program on the level of the whole country. So that will be shared among the government agencies. So it's nearly the same.
I imagine it's the same situation in many countries. The question, I think, is that in a local level, the major city archives are working using these tools, using inside INSIDE, for instance, and transferring with archive, with Archive. So I'm confident at the end, I think we will reach an agreement. So it will be probably the same in Poland. It was really difficult to establish a policy, a common policy, a guideline, and it has been already used by 3 ministries. So let's be optimistic.
May I have a comment? I might sound a bit like evangelist, but actually my data could be one solution. For example, in the health data ecosystem, if there is data operators who can take the data, do necessary conversions, and then you can give consent that that provider can provide that data to different institutions. It might be a solution. And in the end, the user has the visibility of what's going on.
Great. It should be great, thank you.
Okay,
More questions?
I think that's it for this session. Thank you for your attention. Thanks to the presenters. And let's have a coffee break.